everybody, welcome back to my channel. So for the past couple of days I have actually done a remake of a squishy. I didn't intend to actually film this as a video or share it or anything. I just wanted to film it and make it just for myself. So first of all, please excuse my short little boring nails. I usually like to have pretty nice nails, but I've just got these nude ones on. I'm not feeling them, but that's besides the point. I just wanted to address that first. I actually remade this little squishy here. I made this around 2 years ago on my channel. I will leave the video down in the description, just down below, so you can check that out if you want to see how I made it in the first place and before it got a little bit messed up in storage. So like I said, I made this 2 years ago. It's been in storage ever since, and as you can see, it got a little bit messed up. The top has been squashed. It's rather hairy and dirty. It's very creased and it's just not looking very good. So I decided this week, whilst waiting for fabric to arrive for another project that I'm working on, to make a remake of this. So you would have seen by the thumbnail already, so I'm just going to show you how it turned out. Oh my goodness, I will be squishing it at the end of the video after the tutorial and everything like that, and I'm just going to put this together for you today because I really miss making videos like this. So if you do want to see it anymore, just leave me a little bit of a comment. Leave me a comment of what you'd like to see going forward on this channel, because I really want to get back into making cute little videos just for myself, for you guys as well, and yeah, I'd love to know if you're interested in seeing them. So I'm just going to get straight on into how I remade this little soy sauce squishy, even though my new one is much bigger, but yeah. So with the majority of my homemade squishies, I always end up using memory foam that I buy from eBay or just a local store. I have a whole load of memory foam just left over from making squishies in the past, so I just used an old piece. It wasn't the cutest of piece, but still, it worked. I drew out the rough kind of soy sauce bottle shape that I wanted, and then I just cut around that, making a nice smooth cylinder. This took me quite a while to do, around about 20 minutes to half an hour to get it nice and smooth. What I then did with that cylinder shape was like tapered off one of the edges just to make it more into a soy sauce shaped bottle. This took me around about half an hour in total. Again, honestly, I was shaping this squishy for so long, but I had a great time watching a movie whilst I did it, which is usually what I do when I make my squishies. So I just carried on smoothing it until I had, you know, a really smooth shape. I did also top off the top of it, and I also chopped around the bottom just to make that nice and smooth and rounded off as well. With the bit that I chopped off at the top, I actually just made this into, you know, the lid of the soy sauce. So I just shaped that down in and around the sides, and to attach it I used my new favorite fabric glue for squishies, and that is fabric tack. Now you can buy this on Amazon. I got it in Amazon in the UK. I think it's a US brand, but it works amazingly. I've heard about it before, never used it, but I decided to finally give it a go, and my life has been changed ever since. I've been making squishies with this now just for myself, and it works amazing, so I can wholeheartedly recommend. I then mixed up a squishy kind of puffy painty type mixture and just painted the whole thing in a brown. I did several layers, and you want to check in between layers to make sure it's fully dry, because otherwise you'll end up with fingers that look a little bit like this, and that's not cute, you know. So once all the brown layers had then been put on, I think I put on about 4 layers, leaving it to dry in between each layer, and then I painted on all the details. So I used a red puffy paint to paint this on. I always use the Tulip brand on my squishies just because I prefer that brand. It's very opaque, it just works really well. Or I use the Scribbles one as well. They're a lot cheaper, so when I'm using, you know, a lot to cover, say for this brown, I will use a lot of that just because it works out cheaper. We'll have to save a little bit of money, which is why we are DIYing in the first place. So yeah, I've been using these paints on my channel for around about 3 years now, and they've worked out really well for me. Once I had all the red on there, all dried on there, I then moved on to the soy sauce lettering on the bottom. Now a fun fact, I actually did this with acrylic paint, and it's worked out well so far. I made this squishy around about a week or so ago, I think now, and it hasn't cracked or anything yet. I think that's because I put on such a thin layer with that pin, but so far so good. I will keep you updated on that though, because sometimes it does crack and go horrible, but it seems to be alright. I then copied the little face off of the original squishy just because I wanted it to look fairly the same, but this time I painted it on the label so it would stand out a little bit better. So as you would have seen, this was the one I made 2 years ago. The video to that can be seen down in the description down below, and this is how today's version has come out. I do think it looks like a little bit like a Coke bottle or something, but that's just the colours of the paint that I used. I actually really prefer today's version, even though it is much bigger. I just felt like doing quite a bigger version, not like a standard size squishy, still a mini, but not a super mini like this little guy. I just wanted to make him bigger so that I could get him really smooth and just nice in comparison to the original one. So first of all, we need a squish test. So my new one is way more slow rising, which we still love here. Oh my goodness, it's still going. This one is obviously so much more cleaner in comparison to my old one, because it is new, obviously. I did the red label on this one so I could see the face better. I really like that. The top and the lid definitely looks way better on this one, and I think the shape looks a lot better on this one as well, if I do say so myself. I tried to keep the original face, which I'm really happy with. Just, yeah, I'm really happy with it. Let me know which one you obviously prefer, whether it was the one that's like 2 years old or today's one, and I will see you very soon for another video. Bye!